An unfortunate theme of the Trump administration is that the world laughs at us. Okay. The United Nations General Assembly laughed at Donald Trump when he tried claiming that his administration has accomplished more than any American presidential administration in history. The leaders of Mexico and Canada were visibly stunned as Donald Trump couldn't figure out how to sign a piece of paper. We've covered many examples of the world laughing at Trump on the program before. Climate talks got underway in Poland. And as I told you yesterday, the United States is already in this coalition with Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, who are not welcoming an IPCC report about climate change. They are saying, we don't want to welcome this. We're okay noting it, but we don't want it being any kind of central piece of the climate talks in Poland. Why? Because those are some of the biggest oil producing countries in the world, and they don't want a piece of evidence welcomed which says the activities of those four oil producing countries are a major part of the problem we're experiencing on planet Earth. Okay, so cut to yesterday in Poland. Donald Trump sent a guy named Wells Griffith. Griffith is Trump's advisor on energy and climate. That's who went to the conference. He gets up there and he promotes coal and fossil fuels at a climate conference. And the crowd literally laughs out loud. And then a protest breaks out. Take a look at the video.
Clear that energy innovation and fossil fuels will continue to play a leading role. Energy access.
Yikes.
I hope you'll give us a chance.
Yeah, so I think the chant is keep it in the ground, like keep the fossil fuels in the ground. So, okay, in the defense of Wells Griffith, far be it for me to issue a defense of going to a climate conference and suggesting that coal and fossil fuels are what we should be focusing on. In this guy's defense, this was not spontaneous laughter. I'm aware of that. The crowd was ready with a banner and a chant, and it was a coordinated protest. But it doesn't change the reality, Pat, that going to a climate conference representing one of four countries opposed to this IPCC climate study and talking about fossil fuels, it is a joke. And the only reasonable response to that, other than crying, is laughter.
Like, what do you expect to happen? I mean, you're going in there taking the opposite view of pretty much everyone at that conference, if not everyone at that conference. You deserve to be laughed at. Like, the goals that they're trying to accomplish, you're at complete odds with.
Who sends a coal guy to a climate conference in 2018? It's a sham and an embarrassment. And we are in a time where the right has been very successful at stigmatizing things that really shouldn't be stigmatized. The right has won at stigmatizing science as left wing when it's just science. The right has stigmatized education as liberal indoctrination because when you are educated, you realize that those silly right-wing ideas make no sense and you become more likely to be progressive. But education in and of itself is not liberal indoctrination, but they've framed it as such. The right has stigmatized decency and empathy as being liberal extreme points of view. But when it comes specifically to the climate, they have associated fossil fuels with economic prosperity, which is what's backwards. You can't have a successful economy when the planet's destroyed, right? If our coastal cities are underwater, that's really bad for jobs. That's really bad for manufacturing. That's really bad for transportation. That's bad for the economy. It's terrible, okay? Environmental sustainability should be seen as economically advantageous because it is. Even if it weren't economically advantageous, it might still be the right thing to do. Even if, for example, slavery kept costs down when slavery was legal, if slavery was profitable, it still could be wrong and we should still stop it. And in this case, it just so happens that when it comes to the climate and the environment and energy, the economically advantageous thing happens to also be the morally correct thing. Great. What a wonderful coincidence. But they have successfully framed it as the opposite. Good luck trying to convert the current administration over to the reality of the world. Until they're gone, this isn't going to change. And so our goal needs to basically be two parallel goals. Number one, mitigate the damage done to the environment and on this issue of climate by the Trump administration as much as possible, because they're not going to change. Limit the damage they're able to do. And we've got to get these people the hell out of there, right? Because that's the only chance we have. And if it doesn't happen in 2020, that's going to be 4 more years of this nonsense. An absolute and total joke. The United States, which Trump said was a laughingstock under Obama, even though it wasn't, right? I mean, every poll showed that respect for the United States was up once President Obama replaced George W. Bush. Now we are literally the laughingstock of the world. And you have a candidate in Trump, a president in Trump, whose followers see that laughter from the rest of the world as a badge of honor because they believe we just know the truth and everybody else is wrong. Absolutely ridiculous. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at David Pakman Show, where we now have really great clips from the show with subtitles, very shareable, really, really great stuff, including maybe this story will make it on there. At David Pakman Show on Instagram. While you're there, you can follow me on Instagram at david.pakman. We will take a break. Next, I will speak to Lisa Lacy. What is in the cards for human-robot interaction in the next 5 to 10 years? That's what we'll talk about right after the break. One of today's sponsors is privacy.com/Pakman, which is a free service that I myself use. Really useful in many different ways. Takes just a few seconds to link your debit card to privacy.com. Then you can create virtual credit cards that are linked directly to your bank account, and you use those virtual credit card numbers to buy things online, which protects your actual debit card so that it's not spread all over the internet. And one of the best things about it is how their mobile app and browser extensions for Chrome and Firefox make it really easy to use. Let's say, for example, that I'm signing up for a David Pakman Show membership. In the credit card number field, I already see the privacy.com icon. I just click it, choose which of my virtual credit cards I want to use, and the credit card number, expiration date, and security code are automatically entered. I can put in any zip code I want, and I'm done. And if you try to use my credit card number that you just saw on the screen, it doesn't matter, because I've already deleted that virtual card, and that's the beauty of privacy.com. There are a ton of advantages to using a free service like this. For example, you can sign up for as many free trials as you want, then just delete the virtual credit card you used and never worry about getting charged for it. It protects you from getting hacked. It protects you when companies are hacked, which happens all the time. It is all completely free. All you have to do is click the link under this video to get started. And for a limited time, they're giving everyone in our audience $5 towards your first purchase when you sign up using that link.